This is White Wolf, also known as Chief John Smith. He was a Native American who lived in the Cass Lake, Minnesota area and is reputed to have died at the age of 138 in 1922. Due to his extraordinary looks, he had many nicknames like Sloughing Flesh, Wrinkled Meat, or just the Old Indian. White Wolf had 8 wives, fought in many battles, and remembered the War of 1812. The exact age of White Wolf at the time of his death has been a subject of controversy. Some claim that he could not have been older than 88 years, and it was a disease and not age that made him look the way he did. One thing is for certain, that White Wolf, or Chief John Smith, was a true celebrity in his later years. He appeared in moving pictures, modeled for numerous stylized images of Native American life, traveled for free on trains, selling his photo to passengers, and becoming something of an attraction in and of himself. In 1914, White Wolf converted to Catholicism and was buried in the Catholic section of Pine Grove Cemetery in Cass Lake. Not long after the invention of the daguerreotype, Dr. John Draper made additional improvements on the device's photographic process. He saw its usefulness for portraits and made history by taking the first photograph of a woman. The woman was his sister, Dorothy Draper, and the photograph was taken in 1839 in Draper's studio at the New York University. Without blinking, Dorothy sat motionless for a whole 65 seconds to take this historic photo. Here is the colorized version. Did you know that in the 1930s, contraptions called baby cages were actually a thing? Babies getting their fresh air was considered necessary, especially for homes lacking outdoor space like gardens or even balconies. Despite being bizarre by today's standards, the trend stayed on for a while, even having pun-filled adverts pushing on the benefits of the so-called baby cages. The usage of baby cages gained great popularity in London, and they were given out by neighbourhood communities to every member who didn't have a garden. However, due to the obvious safety concerns and the rise of automobile traffic, the sale of baby cages progressively declined. This is a photo from the Algerian War, and it has been taken in the summer of 1958. It shows a tough French Foreign Legion soldier who was doing all the donkey work and enjoying it. He and his comrades found this baby donkey abandoned by its mother in a sun-baked Algerian valley. They decided to adopt this little moke, but he was too weak from hunger and could not keep up with the fast-moving Legion men. Rather than let this donkey die, A motorman hoisted it on top of his already heavy pack and carried his beast of burden all the way back to base. Back at the base, the soldiers fed the donkey, looked after him, and named him Bambi, eventually becoming the official mascot of the unit. Bambi became a worldwide sensation, and the Legion was officially thanked by London-based RSPCA, the oldest and largest animal welfare organisation in the world. It seems saving someone's arse took the whole meaning in this case. When I first saw this photo on the internet, I immediately thought of the 1979 movie Alien, with actress Sigourney Weaver. But surprisingly, this photo has no links to the sci-fi movie at all. It is instead a very realistic picture of the female astronaut Anna Lee Fisher, who wasn't the first, but was among the first women to fly in space in the 1980s. When NASA offered to send her to space, she was actually pregnant. And in November 1984, after accepting the offer, she flew into space, 14 months after giving birth. She was aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery as a mission specialist. And with the completion of her flight, Fisher logged a total of 192 hours in space and made history as the first mother in space. In 2017, Fisher retired from NASA at age 67. The same year she became a grandmother, and soon found herself helping her daughter navigate the same worries she had when she was a new mum. Since 1963, when Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman in space, there have been nearly 70 female astronauts around the globe who took this challenge. However, so far, no women yet have walked on the moon. But there is no doubt that there are many women in training for future space exploration, whether it's to the moon or Mars. Here, a few best friends forever pose in front of their hot rod 50 years apart. Whether it is the exact same car or completely modified, they look strikingly similar, an interesting piece of nostalgia. I believe the vehicle is a Ford Model A from the 1930s. This couple recreated their own photo too 50 years later, in front of their 56 Chevrolet that still looks in pristine condition. And again, three childhood friends, or maybe siblings, pose in front of their old and new Ford Mustang. That's all we had for today. We hope you enjoyed.